tugon sa hamon ng panahon. I am Reinhold Jack Abing of the Department of Science and Technology, Negros Oriental Provincial Office, and I will be your moderator and host this morning. Before we proceed with our Science and Technology Forum, let me read a few reminders to our participants. Next slide, please. Please rename your Zoom display name according to this format: agency, organization, or school, dash, surname, comma, given name. For example, if you're from DOST, you name it DOST dash De La Cruz 1 so that we can properly identify you. Second, all participants are requested to mute their microphones during the lecture. You may turn on your video and audio when asked during the Q&A and the photo opportunity portion. Third, you may type in your questions in the chat box and they will be answered when the lecture finishes. Fourth, your certificate of participation shall be provided after filling out the evaluation form. We will send to you the PDF of your certificate upon receipt of your evaluation. To get your certificates of participation and handouts, kindly fill out the evaluation form found through the link below. Bamboo, grown widely in the Philippines, has been used as furniture, food, charcoal, and ornamental plant. However, this morning, we will hear presentations from our two resource persons on how bamboo is used in the construction of socialized housing. To all our attendees from the different parts of the Philippines, the virtual forum begins right now. Our first speaker is a graduate of Civil Engineering and Master of Science in Structural Engineering from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. He finished his doctoral degree in engineering from Nihon University in Tokyo, Japan. He received his postdoctoral grants from Rajamangala Institute of Technology in Thailand and Tokyo Institute of Technology in Japan as part of the GSPS and Monbosho programs. He got his full Professor 4 position at the university in 1990 and had exchange professorial assignments in Thailand and Japan. He was assigned in 1995 to 2000 to be the executive director of the Integrated Research and Training Center, a JICA grant, in SUCs in the Philippines. He has worked in various researchers with different international teams. In fact, many of his technical papers are presented in various publication and referee journals, like the RILEM, ICC, ACI, ASAP, etc. Way back in 2000, he joined Healthy Philippines Incorporated, where during his time, he became the engineering manager, and he helped develop and grow Healthy Philippines to 10 times its revenue size. In 2020, he retired from the corporate world and joined the Healthy Foundation-initiated organization in the Philippines, the Base Bahay Foundation, as the general manager. Base Bahay is a non-profit, non-government organization with a mandate to build communities using alternative building technologies with a network of partners and providing comfortable, affordable, resilient, eco-friendly housing with social impact. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your virtual applause to Dr. Pablo Horillo Jr. He will be followed by our second speaker, who is an educator, architect, and co-founder of Kawayan Collective Bamboo Treatment Facility. He is co-founder of Studio Damgo, a student-led community design and build program at Foundation University in Dumaguete City, and the co-director of the Philippine Bamboo Workshop Study Abroad program at the University of Washington Department of Architecture. He is a technical architect that loves to bring impactful design to life. At Miller Hayashi Architects in Seattle, Washington, he had led design and construction for community health clinics, public schools, nonprofit organizations, and municipal buildings. In 2017, he was selected to be a Field Pro delegate by the Philippine Consulate to the United States of America and the Ayala Foundation. The program introduced him to Base Bahay. After learning about the organization's mission, he was inspired to co-found Kawayan Collective in 2018 with his wife, Amy. As a social enterprise producing construction-grade treated bamboo, Kawayan Collective is partnering with Base Bahay with the vision of creating better homes for all Filipinos. He earned his Bachelor of Science in Architecture from the University of Maryland with summa cum laude honors and completed his Master of Architecture at the University of Washington in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your virtual applause to architect Ray Villanueva.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pablo Horillo. I am the General Manager of Base Bahay Foundation. Actually, it is really an honor to join you in this virtual technology forum organized by DOST Region 7. Thank you very much for the invitation, and I hope you will learn a lot and you can be encouraged with my presentation on the cement bamboo frame technology and how we use this technology as an innovation for socialized housing. Again, thank you to the organizer of the forum, the Department of Science and Technology Region 7. I have plenty of materials to show to you today, all within the region, especially the region of Negros. Um, what I'll be presenting to you today, I'll discuss a little bit about Base Bahay, our projects, especially one of our biggest projects, the Negros Occidental Impact 2025 on socialized housing. I will also show to you the our recently launched Base Innovation Center. It is a technical space where academe, researchers, and startups can work together in coming up with different studies on bamboo and related materials and technology. Today also, I'll try to show you a little bit, a snapshot of what is this cement bamboo frame technology all about, how this structure is linked on bamboo. I'm sure many of you today in this meeting or in this forum is asking, do we already have a code and approval for the use of bamboo as a structural materials, especially for housing or building? And I'm very happy to share with you some of the developments here. And at the end of the presentation, I hope I can encourage everyone here in this meeting the importance of using this type of material and how do we encourage everyone to make bamboo as part of the material in the construction mainstream. Let me tell you a little bit about Base Bahay Foundation first. Actually, the topic bamboo is very close to my heart because bamboo is a material of our advocacy in Base Bahay. We are a non-profit organization and we provide alternative building technologies to a network of partners so that we can build communities with comfortable, affordable, resilient, and eco-friendly houses with social impact. Base Bahay actually started as one research project of a German students in 2011. What they started doing is studying bamboo, coconut, and all this low energy resource material as a building construction material. They did the study in characterization of the material, and then they piloted into a house. And then through that study, the Hilti Foundation, the CSR arm of the Hilti Group, decided to create Base Bahay. And from there, we started building houses, socialized housing, housing for the poor. And now in 2021, we have already completed more than 1,000 houses all over the Philippines. And I will show you some video and pictures of some of our projects. The technology that I'm talking about, it's an eco-friendly, it's a green building technology because it uses bamboo in its entirety. and we call it the cement bamboo frame technology. It is accredited, the technology, the building technology per se, is accredited by the National Housing Authority through the ITEC, the accreditation of innovative technology for housing. Um, we build communities, houses for poor families, disaster-stricken communities, and the marginalized sector of the society. We build a socialized housing or a house that is permanent with a lifespan as accredited by ITEC or the National Housing Authority of a lifespan of 25 to 50 years. So it must be typhoon resistant, can resist up to a wind speed of 240 kilometers per hour, earthquake resistance to a magnitude of 7, fire resistant and insect resistant so that it can last from 25 to 50 years. Um, just like what I have said, this is one sample of a community in Tacloban. We have already built 12 communities like this, and we have constructed more than 1,000 houses. We have project in Haro, Iloilo, Lanit, Basay, Samar, Tacloban, in Kabug, in Eastern Samar, Sorsogon, and just very recently in Negros Occidental, Silay. Um, and we are constructing more socialized housing across the Philippines. Among our ongoing projects, we have one project in Mindanao, actually two projects in Mindanao, wherein we are now redesigning uh, the, the architectural features of the houses, much different from what we have already built. We're working with groups like Kinileban Foundation, Rotary Homes, the Ayala Land, and even with the group of Architect Ray Villanueva in the Kawayan Collective in building their Darwin House, which I think will be presented later today. As I have said, one of our biggest projects in Negros is the Negros Occidental Impact 2025. We envision or we plan to build 10,000 cement bamboo frame houses in Negros by 2025, serving the informal settlers, displaced family into a resettlement area close to urban district. Allow me to show you a 5-minute clip video of the project, the use of the bamboo material in building technology, and the social impact it brings. I hope the sounds would be okay to everyone. Here goes.
When we first started here, it was just land. No? The land was appropriated basically for informal settlers to provide their own housing. But through Habitat and the partnerships with Hilti, Base Bahay, and other private partnerships, we're building sustainable communities. The first community here is calling itself Katuwang. And Katuwang means partnership. But partnership, it's more of a deeper partnership. It's like partnership for life.
It's a good partners to be with Habitat because you give us homes for our people to address the homelessness, and so in return we should be helpful in what you are doing here so that we can show to other places that what we are doing here in partnership with Habitat is a good example for the city of Silay.
So the partnership focuses basically on leveraging public and private organizations. We have included the LGU, who provides us land. We have the private sector that provides us basically funding and support. More importantly, we also have partnerships with the Hilti Foundation and Base Bahay, providing the very important technology, bamboo technology, that we require. Combining all of these, basically, we provide an opportunity for all the different sectors in the housing value chain to contribute to eliminating housing poverty. The benefits of using cement bamboo frame technology are very numerous, actually. First and foremost, it provides for the building of disaster-resilient houses, which can basically withstand typhoons and earthquakes, which is very important for the very vulnerable groups. The second, it's also been proven that it provides insulation from heat, which is very important for poor families. Third, it provides employment, not only for construction workers, but for bamboo farmers, which is very critical for the rural areas. Another benefit is the sustainability of the product. It grows very quick. So unlike wood or any other material in the construction value chain, it's easily to source, and it can also be much cheaply sourced in the future or in the long term through economies of scale.
Nakatapos na ako siguro mga 300 hours na, more or less. Malamig yung bamboo. Ito nakita ko rin ang kombinasyon ng bamboo at saka yung concrete. So maganda talaga kinalalabasan ng bamboo house. Bamboo pala, pwede rin pang gawing pang model. Hindi lamang pang nipa house.
Bamboo with combined the new technology of cement. Yes, it is worth doing again because it can help us through the livelihood of our city and also the people of Silay.
竹とコンクリートですごい強度を増していて頑丈な家だと思うし、あと竹自体に殺虫の効果があってそれもすごい長持ちするのですごいいい構造だと思います。
So the vision of Habitat with its partners is to create a sustainable community where it can thrive on its own and build the proper leadership and governance to lead its way to basically a sustainable community.
Ako si Giselle Makuining, ginapapugal ko giga ako nagapanagtiya sang balay nga himo sa kawayan. Ako si Nilda Makabibi, ginapapugal ko gid nga isa ako sa nagapanagtiya sang bamboo house.
Ako si Lilia Ignon, proud ako na isa ka owner sa balay na kawayan.
Ako si Ana Rinias, nagakalipay nga nagapapugal nga isa ako kang nagapanagtiya sang balay nga bamboo house. Ako si Elnora Santilla, nagakalipay nga nagapanagtiya sa isa ka balay nga kawayan.
Amo na ning panugod sang maayo nga buwas damlag.
I hope you like the video. Every time I look at that, it's very inspiring, and the number of people and the beneficiaries and how much it means to all of them to have their own house and live comfortably in a permanent house, and that truly serves the convenience and the purpose that it was built into. So the challenge for all of us, especially all of us who are listening today, is how to make bamboo a mainstream in-house construction. Let me borrow this slide from one of our partners in Coventry University in UK. To make bamboo a mainstream in-house construction, definitely you need research. You know, if you don't know anything about the material, you don't do study, you don't do research, you don't do pilots, then how could you possibly have that material be included in the codes and standard? And again, if there are no codes and standards of this type of material, then how can one engineer or architect specifies it, design with it, or even teaches how to use it in the construction. And if no one is deciding and specifying it, definitely there would be no demand. And if there's no demand, then why would I study and why would I do research on this type of material? For us in Base Bahay, we would like to break this cycle. And just like from our experience in Base Bahay started from a research, then a pilot, then the proof of concept, and then now building more than 1,000 houses in the last 4 or 5 years, and then going into even 10,000 houses until 2025 with just a few partners. With all of you here today, you can partner with us. You can partner with your LGUs. You can partner with the shelter agencies, with the Department of Science and Technology, DTI, among these agencies so that we can make bamboo a mainstream in-house construction. For us in BASE, we just recently launched the BASE Innovation Center. We focus on research and technology adoption, and we make sure that whatever the result of our study, it is transferred to the community where it is needed. So training and learning is a vital component in the delivery of the results of this R&D. Right now, we are in partnership with many different groups. BASE Innovation Center, or BASE, is fully funded by Hilti Foundation. But to do research, we are working with local universities, the likes of De La Salle and UP, to name a few, and partnering them with top universities in the world. That among the top 5, ETH Zurich, Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, to name a few, and put them together, work on a specific topic, and elevate the use of bamboo in different kinds of construction. We are also working with different institutions, including the biggest design firm, ARUP, or the Habitat or Williger Center for Innovation in Shelter, to forward this ambition. We're also working with social enterprise, the likes of Kawayan Collective, the group of architect Ray Villanueva, to do study, to do building, to do research in this area. So these are few of the strategies of how we would like to make bamboo a mainstream. For today, I would like to focus on the construction process. Base Bahay is present in the entire value chain of bamboo. We are working with farmers as part of the sourcing. We are working with treatment facilities and supply facilities to enable the use of the product up to the construction, the use stage, and end of life stage. Base Bahay is present. But for today, I will focus on structures. Actually, for structures, there are 3 types. You have the traditional Bahay Kubo. There is one method called the Bahareke, or in Tagalog, in Filipino, it is Tabike Pampango. It is a bamboo frame plastered with cement, as you can see in the middle picture. And then another type are those prefabricated house made of highly engineered laminated boards. The one that I'm going to discuss with you is the Bahareke technology, or as a build a construction using bamboo as the structural frame, wherein the design of this is very similar to your timber frame construction. And then the floor, the wall, the roof elements are interconnected with each other. For the foundation, you can use any type of foundations that suits the site. For the flooring, it could be an earth floor structure, or it could be a reinforced concrete, depending on the house that you're building. For the walls practically carry the entire self-weight and loadings imposed by the occupants, weather, and earthquake. And then there is an infill between the framing members to complete the wall. And for the roof, you should have a roof structure that is capable to resist a typhoon wind speed of about 240 kilometers per hour. And for the roof covering, are non-structural in function, you can use different types of materials, including bamboo tiles, bamboo shingles, to name a few. Doors and windows, it could be your traditional type, or it could be the one you can buy easily in many hardware stores. So if you assemble this into one, like a bamboo shear wall with cladding and finishing with roofing, this is what we call the cement bamboo frame technology. Probably you'll be asking, is there a design? Is there a design for this? Just recently, in June this year, the International Organization Standard released ISO 22156. There is now a code and a design how to do structural design of this type of structure, wherein the primary load-bearing structure is made of round bamboo, and the way it is configured, it is a shear panel system. It can be applied to 1 to 2-story residential, commercial, or light industrial building not exceeding 7 meters in height. So the detailed load design, the method of design is stated in this ISO 22156. My team in Base Bahay, together with other universities and our colleagues in FPRDI, in DTI, are now working to make this a part of our Philippine national standard. And we are keeping our fingers crossed that this will be a Philippine national standard by this is working with the ASEP, the Association of Structural Engineers of the Philippines, being a member of the, as part of the technical committee, working on the bamboo being a part of the National Structural Code of the Philippines. So very exciting for all of us as we get to see more of the codes in approval, getting readied so that the adoption of this type of material can be accelerated. We also would like to show to you that we tried to test this also, especially on safety, risk, and resilience for typhoon. And we tested 3 model houses in the area in Bicol where it is frequently visited by typhoons. And so far, very little damage to our model houses in this region. One last question that you might be asking, what is the cost comparison if I'm going to compare this type of technology with a conventional CHB or concrete hollow block? In summary, just to summarize this slide, the technology using the cement bamboo frame is actually 37 to 38% cheaper compared to your conventional CHB houses. So it started with a research. Now we have a code and standard. And now we can start specifying it, designing it, even teach it because we have the complete knowledge. And then we start creating demand. The way you saw the beneficiary react to having a house that is comfortable to live and of high quality is actually very inspiring. So demand is created, and therefore we can continue developing this technology through research and further standards. In closing, I just would like to show you how does it look like when you build this type of houses. With this, I thank you for listening and looking forward to your question and answer today. Thank you very much for the opportunity and good morning to everyone.
Okay, thank you everyone for having and joining us today and for having me speak on behalf of Kwai Collective. My name is Ray Villanueva. I'm co-founder and architect at Kwai Collective. And today I get to talk to you about Kwai Collective and how it is a model for community bamboo production. Specifically, I'll talk about the impact of bamboo, the future of housing and construction, and also its impact on the value chain of bamboo and Filipino communities. But first, I always like to start out a presentation with the impact of bamboo on me and how I fell in love with bamboo. So this is my dad. He is a physician, and this is me on the right at one of his medical missions. I am Filipino American and had the chance to volunteer with my father every year. We'd come back and do a medical mission in Mindanao, in Misamis Occidental, where he is from. And so through these missions, I really got to experience the Philippines, and I saw how my dad could have an impact in his profession in people's lives. And I was inspired by that. And when I chose architecture as my profession, I chose to find a way that I could have a similar impact in people's lives. And so in 2012, I was able to start a design build program at Foundation University in Dumaguete that really was transformative and a transformative experience and really showed the impact of architecture, bamboo, and the built environment on students and the community. And so from this experience, you can see the results. First project that was completed was a daycare center in Valencia, just outside of Dumaguete. And the end product was a bamboo daycare center, which really shows the beauty of bamboo and its potential. And these are the students that built the project. It took 1 year of design and building. And in the end, they worked with the community client who was with them the whole way. And now it's still standing 9 years old, or 9 years later. And is a model of how native structures do have a place in our built environment, and they can be built to withstand the test of time. So this program has continued on the last 9 years, and these are some other projects that were completed every year in a different place around Negros Oriental. This is a tourism center right in downtown Dumaguete, and one of the latest projects, a veterinary volunteer clinic. So again, these are examples of how bamboo impacted me and has shown me that a very native material can have a huge impact, not only on just fence projects or low-cost materials, but also durable structures, community structures that can really show the culture of the Filipino. And so the next part of the story is 5 years later, when I was introduced to Base Baha'i Foundation. This is the then general manager of Base Baha'i, Marisen, Jalandini, and engineer Luis Felipe. We met through a program called PhilPro, which is sponsored by the Ayala Foundation. And they are really interested in social housing. And you'll hear all about social housing, or you have heard about their mission and vision. And this was the beginning of our partnership in 2017. So as you know, Base Bahai's mission is better homes for all Filipinos. And these are some images you probably have already seen from Dr. Hurlio's presentation. And from that meeting in 2017, was able to form a partnership with Base Baha'i to open a bamboo treatment facility in Darwin. So April 1st was our opening day. We're located in Mayan Tubig, Darwin. on the National Road. Visitors are welcome at any time. And we share Base Bahai's mission to elevate bamboo as a sustainable, durable, beautiful building material for all Filipinos. And we believe that we can achieve better homes for every Filipino. So what Kawain Collective does is that we collect, treat, and distribute bamboo. And this is part of the value chain that I'll get into. But we work with local farmers and cutters and people's organizations to harvest about 300 bulos per week, or 300 poles. And we make sure they're sustainably harvested before we treat them in our treatment center. And our 3-week treatment process is guaranteed to be pest resistant. So it's treated for termites and buk, and will replace any poles that have infestation. But this type of treatment will last a lifetime, and it's verified by the international organization INBAR to last 50 plus years. So very opposite of what the traditional material is used for, where it's a temporary material. We believe that bamboo can be treated to last a lifetime. And then we also distribute. So we harvest, and we have distributed all around Region 7. I'll show you some projects later of projects all over the region. But our target monthly sales are 400,000 a month, and we can treat up to 20,000 treated poles and create that many products as well. Excuse me. So here's a quick video about our treatment process. This will highlight numbers 2 through 6 here of our process flow. So let's take a listen.
At Kawain Collective Bamboo Treatment Facility, we believe in the long-term beauty and durability of bamboo. To ensure our bamboo is powder beetle and termite free, every piece must go through a 4-step process. Step 1. Washing. Bamboo naturally contains a lot of starch. By submerging the fresh-cut bamboo completely in running water for a few days, we are able to remove the starch that the powder beetle finds so tasty. Step 2. Drying. By sun-drying our poles for at least 5 days, we reduce the moisture content of the pole to about 33%, thereby preparing the pole to be able to absorb the maximum amount needed for treatment. Step 3. Treatment. Every pole is fully submerged to absorb the maximum amount that's needed. We use a boron or permethrin solution, and this is the final guarantee against termites. There is no waste in our process because the poles go into the solution already cleaned and dried so that the treatment never needs to be replaced, only added to as the poles soak up more solution. Step 4. Seasoning. Finally, all our treated bamboo is carefully stowed in covered storage racks that allow for airflow while keeping the bamboo out of the sun and rain. Treated bamboo will last as long as any treated wood. With proper design, bamboo will last a lifetime and more. We guarantee it.
So as you can see, our process is very thorough. It's brought over by Base Bahai. They've done years of research and treatment and created this 3-week process that's internationally renowned. And through the supply of treated bamboo poles, we believe that we're the #1 supplier in the region. And we think that the bamboo is durable, sustainable, and also great because it's locally sourced. This latest global pandemic has shown that supply chains can be disruptive, and hopefully people take more notice about local production and the value chain of their products. So we believe that we can also be competitive on price with steel and concrete. If bamboo, like we said, can last a lifetime, and our mission is also to train people to build with bamboo. So more on that later, but right now we're also furthering our grading procedures at our facility by complying with ISO 19624, the grading of bamboo culms. Together with Base Baha'i and Coventry University in the United Kingdom, and also Foundation University, we're undergoing a study to make our poles internationally competitive. After we're done the study, we'll be the first facility in the world to have bamboo that is graded to this international standard. So we're very excited about this and hope that will increase prospects internationally and also get more people building with bamboo and knowing that they can trust the material. So here are a few projects. After the first year of processing, we were only processing 4 Base Baha'i, and right around the pandemic, when the pandemic started, some of their projects slowed down, and so we had to find other clients. And so here are a few projects around the region. This is in Darwin, a house, residential house. And here in Bohol, we have a restaurant that we prefabricated some of these screens and also a lot of the bamboo inside for this House of Lechon, working with Common Sense Architects, which is based in Manila. Some of the prefabrication that we did. And then in Cebu, outside of Cebu, Constellation, this is with the Cebu-based architect M+S Studio. It's a very Balinese type of structure. It's a mock-up for a larger resort that will be in Palawan. And then some local structures. We're very fortunate that there has been the demand even on Negros for treated bamboo. People want their bamboo to last, and we're happy to supply them. So after the pandemic started, we were really hard-pressed to find more clients. And right before the pandemic started, we posted this Facebook post about free bamboo for the community. If you were close by, hopefully you got some. But we had huge piles of bamboo that didn't make the grade. Our standards are really strict, and we want the bamboo homes to be really solid and comply with all the great engineering research that Engineer Luis and Dr. Rogelio are doing in Base Baha'i. So this is the pile that didn't make the grade. So we saw this as an opportunity during the pandemic to really develop other products. And so during the pandemic, we developed our panel line. So now we offer engineered bamboo panels and also specialized bamboo products. So this is our current product line: treated bamboo poles, engineered panels, and some product development. So we do product development with anyone who's interested and has an idea to develop. For instance, Common Sense Architects, who did the Bohol project, they had some home goods. The example on the right here is a fruit bowl that they had an idea for, and it's a beautiful handcrafted fruit bowl made off of offcuts. So all of our panels and all of our products are made from offcuts of the treated construction grade poles. So we're really interested in minimizing the waste and creating using the entire pole. So only one full 10-meter pole harvested from the mountains you can get maybe 1 or 2 construction grade poles, and so that leaves the rest of the pole to turn into other products. So this leads to what is the bamboo value chain? And for me, I think the bamboo value chain involves 2 things. The material itself, how it is a sustainable, rapidly renewable material. It can regenerate itself every year and lock in carbon and sequester carbon. So that's one thing that bamboo is known internationally as a very sustainable material. But also, value chain is we see every day in our facility with the people and the lives that it touches. So in every step of the way, coming from the mountains, we hear stories of how Fine Collective and our processing center has changed people's lives by giving them opportunity. So giving farmers extra income during the off season, or allowing the breadwinner of a family to stay close by rather than going to Manila or Cebu to earn their wages. It's really given our community extra, or I guess a reliable source of income. Right now, we are working with a team of 30, around 30. About half of them are part-time. So actually 20 of them are full-time, and about 15 of them are part-time. We have also a construction team. So we're continually growing and expanding the value chain and the lives that are touched. So here's another quick video that I'd like to play that shows how our business is affecting the lives of our community and how it is a model of community-based bamboo processing. We use the hashtag the butterfly effect for and I think that it's important that we realize that the bamboo effect is the idea that a small ripple can have many effects down the road. So I'll play this video real quick.
People often ask, why's your logo a butterfly? It is a symbol that means many things to us, but mostly it is a reference to the butterfly effect, when one small change in behavior can ripple to make a big impact. We also like to call it the bamboo effect, and this is what it looks like. Over half of all the poles treated by Kawayan Collective are used to build socialized housing for NGOs such as Gawad Kalina and Habitat for Humanity. In partnership with national NGO based Bahay, Kawayan Collective helps to supply new homes every year for poor and homeless Filipino families. When you buy from Kawayan Collective, you are helping to build better homes for all Filipinos.
Okay, great. So I think that video really summarizes our intent for Kawayan Collective and how we're trying to stimulate the bamboo value chain, and in the process, use as much of the bamboo as we can, sustainably harvest, but also create sustainable livelihoods along the way. So that includes all the way from supply, our harvesters that bring the bamboo all the way down from the mountains, and then the processing jobs that we're making. Like I said, we have about 25 full-time, 35 total, so 15 people that are also part-time that we hope to convert soon. And then the market. So Base Bahay is our primary market, but we're continually trying to find other customers internationally, locally, who believe in bamboo. And so our supply here is a summary of our kind of numbers. There's about 150,000 pesos worth of bamboo that we buy per month from the mountains, and then about 130,000 pesos worth of salary that we pay to our team. And our total sales, we try and reach 400,000 monthly to sustain our business. And we're continually trying to do some R&D and to use more of the bamboo so that we can attract other customers. So this is another video, but I don't think I have time to play it, so I'll just post it in the chat message. I'll post all of our videos there that you can see, and they're all available on our website. But sorry, yeah, let's just go to the end. So I guess I also really want to thank our regional DOST for this year. We were awarded a grant and aid, which is going to help us further expand our offerings and product development. We're going to be able to upgrade our equipment, but also invest in a bamboo learning center where we can hold trainings and get more people involved in our value chain, doing pre-processing of bamboo and other exciting things. This year, we're also going to do a cooperative conversion. So converting our business model to a cooperative so that the community takes ownership and more of our business touches more people in our community, and hopefully growing our business in that model, expanding maybe to other places, but really making the business take root, and also more of our team to take ownership and realize that it's theirs and they have the power to make it whatever they want it to be. And then I'm really excited this year that we get to build some bamboo model houses with Base Baha'i in Darwin to continue to redefine the bamboo house. We're building our first house in Poblacion, Darwin, and here are some interior renderings. And here's a current shot of the exterior and the interior. We have mostly bamboo house using cement bamboo frame. And then at our facility, we have 8 more units that we're going to build, all different types of income levels, so that we can really use them as a model, so people can come to our place and look at these different models and see how they're built, and also along the way have trainings while we build these houses so that more people know how to build with this technology, so that when people come in, we can refer other builders to them and have them build their project, because we want to continue to expand our impact beyond our community to builders and also to architects. We continually refer our work to architects all over the country, and also to builders, because we can't build everything. We just want to make sure more people work with bamboo. And so that's basically it for my production, a presentation. And I hope that you might have some questions and that I can answer. And if you have any, here's my contact information. And thank you so much again for DOST Region 7 for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pablo Horillo and Architect Ray Villanueva, for that very inspiring and informative presentation. So I'm sure our audience has learned a lot from your presentation. But before we proceed to our question and answer portion, I'd like to acknowledge also the presence of Engineer Luis Lopez from Base Baha'i Foundation. Engineer, good morning. And I'd like to request our panelists to kindly turn on your camera, because we will be taking a photo opportunity first. Operator, please take charge.
All right, so please post your best smiles for our photo op. Okay. In a count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one moment. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Marge. So I have a first question here to the Base Baha'i Foundation. So it's an interesting journey from being a CSR, and now you're one of the pioneering agencies in bringing bamboo frame technology to the mainstream of house construction. What slings and arrows did Base Bahay has to overcome in bringing cement bamboo frame technology to the mainstream of construction? This one is addressed to Dr. Aurelio and Engineer Lopez.
Okay, thank you very much and good morning again. Good questions, slings and arrows. Before we were able to reach this stage. Today we have our resident expert from Colombia, our head of technology, a structural engineer, and Luis Lopez is actually the one who really started Base Bahay from the start. I would like to give this opportunity to him for that, so he can also speak and present. Luis, what are our challenges and slings and arrows before we reach this stage?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Pablo. I'm Luis Lopez, the head of technology at Best Bahay. And then the challenges, many. I mean, this is not an easy journey. Normally, when the people see our videos and our posts, they are looking only the success, but they don't know all the challenges that we have to pass to reach those success projects. So first, in the beginning, we found a country here in the Philippines with a tradition in the use of bamboo. Of course, bamboo is part of the Philippine tradition and culture, but also a very, how you say it, early developed industry in bamboo production. So we couldn't find treatment facilities that produce proper bamboo with the quality needed for a durable and permanent house. So we have to invest time and resources researching the best method to treat the Kawayan tinic, because I came from Colombia, so we have another species there, is Guadua angustifolia kunt, and the composition of that species a little different, is less starchy than the Kawayan tinic. So the treatment methods should be different from for the bamboo here in the Philippines. So we have a lot of challenges looking for the right method to treat the local species. I think that one of the biggest challenges when you talk about bamboo construction, not only in the Philippines and around the world, including Latin America, Colombia, Africa, Southeast Asia, is the stigma of bamboo for the many people related as the timber for the poor people. And that's quite unfair for a great material like bamboo, because of course, people refer bamboo as poor man's timber. It's because it's so easy to get. It's I always say bamboo is victim of his own success. So it grows so fast. It's easy to get. So of course, it's become one source for make shelters for the poor people, because it's an easy access material. But this bamboo that the poor people get to make their shelter are not treated. They just cut wherever they found. And of course, the durability is questionable. But I always say, when you go to an slum or a poor neighborhood, you don't only found bamboo, you found concrete blocks, you found timber, you found steel, you found concrete columns, and no one is saying that those materials are poor man's materials. It's only bamboo who has to carry that stigma. So I think we have a lot of work looking forward to convince people that this is a very good material in terms of structural capacities and structural behavior. It's a durable material when it's well treated and well harvested and well dry. So it's the same as timber, is in the resistant in compression, for example, is as strong as concrete. So it's a very good material. We just need to develop the right techniques and the technologies that allow us to make durable and sustainable houses. So many challenges, but I just want to mention those two, for me, the most important challenges during the beginning of Best Bahay.
So thank you very much, Engineer Lopez. So In a nutshell, you're trying to say is that you employed science and technology, a lot of studies in order to overcome those stigma, but proving bamboo as a very durable component of construction is another topic. But how, I'm just curious, how did you convince your partners and stakeholders to come along to your journey on building a sustainable community, particularly in employing cement bamboo frame technology?
I think the way you convince your partners is by the example. No, you need to take some risk in the beginning. So we're very lucky to have Hilti Foundation on board of this project. So from the beginning of the project, they really believe in the technology and the possibilities of bamboo, because guys, we are now in the middle of the climate crisis in this planet. So the climate change is not a joke. It's something that is happening in the whole world. And the only way to start to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions is changing all our behaviors, starting for the way we build houses, the way the cars have been built, the fuel we use for cars, all of that. So, and the housing sector is very important in the climate change fight, because only construction industry is responsible for 40% of the greenhouse emissions in the world. And we are saying that concrete and cement industry is responsible of 10% of those carbon emissions. So, and the only way we can reduce that is by using sustainable materials like bamboo, wood, and hemp. Those are the three most sustainable materials on earth right now, but probably bamboo is the champion of sustainability. So Hilti Foundation at that time, they know that, and they decide to bet for this project, taking the risk, trusting in a technology that was not proved, but with this idea of looking for something new. They want to give the example for other organizations to bet for new technologies. And we started with their support. So we were able to build some neighborhoods in Iloilo, and that serves us for show to other partners and stakeholders to show, look, this is the house, this is how the house look, this is not the traditional Bahay Kubo. I like Bahay Kubos, but Bahay Kubos is for other purposes, not for this urban housing scale, massive construction. So we showed them the house is durable, it's a permanent house, it's nice, it's comfortable, very nice with the weather. So the partners, I mean, it's when you see the things that you can touch, you can believe more easily. So we were able to convince our partners, and right now we have a very nice group of partners where we can work.
Thank you very much, Engineer Lopez. Now, to Architect Ray, it's a long path from the US and to the Philippines, particularly here in Negros Oriental. You were an educator, and then you built a social enterprise. What made you decide to build a social enterprise here in the Philippines, and particularly here in Darwin, of all places in Negros Oriental?
Sure. Thank you for your question, and good to see everyone. Yeah, I think it was just a matter of circumstances about how I ended up back in the Philippines. After that initial educational experience at Foundation University, I realized the potential of bamboo and how really great it is and sustainable, just like all the things that Luis is saying. And when I had the opportunity to meet them, Engineer Luis gave me the whole speech about what they're doing, and really it is an amazing housing project. I think it's the biggest bamboo housing project in the world. And it is providing homes for the most vulnerable people in the country and in the world. So I think it's great that Base Bahay is doing its thing here in the country and leading the world in bamboo housing. And I think just being part of their value chain is an honor to be part of that. And the way we set up Client Collective is social enterprise. Hopefully like in my presentation, providing livelihoods, but also trying to spread its impact to more people. I think hopefully we're a model for other people to also spread that impact. And I think, yeah, anything that I was doing in the US or before pales in comparison to what I think Hawaiian Collective and Base Baha'i is doing for the Philippines.
Thank you very much, Architect Ray. We have a question here from our officer in charge, Assistant Regional Director for Technical Operations of DOST VII. His question is, as new and small players in bamboo processing, do we have a good market for bamboo-based products? Which finished products should we focus first, and which markets should we start engaging with? Thank you very much. So I think that questions are addressed to Architect Ray.
Yeah, that's a tough question. Yeah, I think I know that both Pablo and Luis also have answers for that, but I think the scale of Hawaiian Collective is pretty small, community based right now, and I think that's the way it's going to stay, because any bamboo product that requires mass production requires like whole provinces, hectares upon thousands of hectares of bamboo. So like for flooring, it's all made in China or Vietnam where they have that supply. I think here it makes more sense. We have wild bamboo spread out along the riverbanks, just like in Darwin and all of Negros, where it needs to be sustainably harvested and not just cut down and not really considering the future. So I think small microprocessing centers are really a good model, so that transportation also isn't as big of an impact. And I think the engineered panels that we are making right now, they're really hard to make. It's really hard to turn a round thing into a flat panel. It uses lots of glue and it creates a lot of waste. And so I think there's still a market for that. People love the native look, but it is a premium product. We're not going to sell too many of those to low-cost housing or anything. So it's just another way for us to diversify as a processing facility. But I think that's it from our perspective. I think we're just looking to use the waste and the offcuts to maximize the potential of a pole, and to right now we're not harvesting above and beyond what Base Baha'i is ordering. We're just using the offcuts for our other products. So I know that Luis and Pablo have also some responses for that.
Yes, how about Engineer Luis and Dr. Pablo? I'm sure you have your 5 cents on those issues.
Yeah, Pablo, you first.
Okay. Reinhold, very recently, I think it was last month or a couple of months ago, Hawaiian Collective was in that meeting as well, where the DTI Region 7, together with, I think DOST is also a part of that meeting. They identified some of the strategies on a midterm set by the Philippine Bamboo Industry Council. And they have identified quite a lot of bamboo products in that strategy on a midterm, going all the way to 2024 to 2025. Engineered wood is one. And there are a lot of small to medium scale entrepreneurs already working on that. And the vision of the DTI is to grow that industry by as much as 30%. Now that's a different sector. It's a highly engineered, highly processed, mechanized way of producing engineered and highly processed material or engineered bamboo. Now for us in Base, just like what Ray mentioned, we focus on number one, we focus on socialized housing, building the community and setting up houses. And most of our products we use is round bamboo poles, but we have to grade it to make sure that it is of structural grade. Just like what Ray mentioned, there are some bamboos that did not fit that grading process. There, we look for other ways to use them. And what we are now looking at are materials that are, how would I say this, semi-processed or not highly engineered, or at least the technology would be not so expensive so it can still be used as part of the housing or your socialized housing, and it would not be very expensive. For example, you can use those laminated board or pinbo developed by Kawayan Collective as doors, as covering for your windows, for your tables, but still not requiring the highly engineered process. And in the end, who would benefit this? Those who would benefit from this are those who cannot afford this very expensive, highly engineered bamboo wood and panel, and instead use this in their house. And I guess this is for the majority of us who would like to use this as part of the house. Now it's a different focus now. And for us to be able to do that, we need to do research. That's why, based together with Ray's team, we are doing research on some of this material. Luis, anything to add?
No, I think you cover everything, Pablo. But I just want to add that the market for bamboo products depends also of things that are not under control of Kawayan Collective, even base, or it's the market. It's the people who has to request this kind of materials and this kind of products. But from our side in base, as Pablo say, we are always looking for the developing of new products using the bamboo waste and the retazo that is available in the plants that produce bamboo. And with the Kawayan Collective, we have a very strong communication looking for new alternatives of products that, of course, in our case, we look for things that we can use in our houses. But it's important also to involve a lot of entrepreneurs that can, with good ideas, that can use all these materials and create new products. And I mean, teach the people the benefits to use more bamboo products instead of plastic products, so we can help a little bit with this crisis of the climate change.
Okay, thank you very much to all of you. For the information of everybody, this webinar is also broadcasted live on Facebook. So I call my colleague Marge. Do we have any questions from our live audience from Facebook?
Yes, Sir Jack. We have few questions posted on our Facebook live stream by our active and curious participants. To start with the first question, what kind of treatment or solution do you apply on bamboos to keep it off from termites and to make it last longer? Maybe anybody from the team?
Yeah, I will take that. That is like the cooking recipes, no? The secrets inside. But no, the truth is that we use a method that we developed together with a French consultant and BSI, and also people from Forest Products Institute of UP in Los Baños Laguna, and the base Baha'i experience. And this treatment system consists basically in 3 stages. So the first one is something that we call the washing process. And so we put the bamboos in running fresh water just to remove the starch, because the bok like to eat starch. So after several days of having the bamboos in running water, you can remove all the starch from inside. So you reduce the possibility of the bamboos to be attacked by bok. But that's not enough for termites, because termites doesn't care about the starch. They like the cellulose. So you have to apply a chemical to prevent the attacks of termites, the anites. So after the washing, we have a drying process, because you need to reduce the moisture content of the bamboo, maybe until 19% of moisture content, so that prepares the bamboo, sorry, 30% so prepares the bamboo to receive better the chemicals and the solution. So we submerge the bamboos in a solution based in a chemical called perimetrin. And this solution is a very safe solution, by the way. It's accepted in Europe, in Japan, in US, and everywhere in the world. So of course you have to take care and follow the precautions for the management, because it's a poison, but it's a solution that is accepted in the whole world. So the perimetrin is absorbed by the bamboo, and after the submersion of these poles, and with that the bamboo is completely protected. The good thing about this solution is that it will never leak or evaporate from the bamboo. Is attached to the fibers, and it will be protecting the bamboo forever.
Thank you very much, Engineer Luis. We have a question here from DOST Siquijor Provincial Office. It says, what you are featuring this morning is more on the technology for socialized housing. Maybe we can introduce also in Siquijor, but we are interested on the gifts and holiday decor production souvenir items. Okay, one moment. Decor items production in preparation for the reopening of our tourism industry in the province. Do you also promote these small item products?
The question is directly to whom? Base or
maybe anyone from the team can answer this question, sir.
Ray, do you have anything? I would like to pass it on to Ray.
From the point of view, well, I will say something, maybe Ray can complement what I'm going to say, but from the side of from our end, and base, we are promoting the social housing, and the products that we develop is all focused to social housing. But I think the treatment facilities like Hawaiian Collective, they are always exploring new products for decoration, furniture, and other things, to increase their portfolio of products so they can survive more easily. So I think, Ray, you have to complement that.
Yeah, that's a good introduction. We're just we are a business, so we are trying to survive, and yeah, we're trying to do anything possible with the offcuts and the supply that we have. I think in my presentation I showed a couple of home goods. You can see them in our website. They were developed by architecture firm in Manila. There's like a fruit basket and other things like that. So and those are all made off from the offcuts from the bamboo from that we process for base Baha'i. But I think yeah, the tourism industry took a huge hit in the last year, and I think there's lots of potential in the tourism industry for bamboo things. I think here in Negros we have Sabita. They do a lot of that kind of tourism industry sort of thing. But I think we're also partnering with them. They get a lot of their supply from us at a lower rate because we already have it on site. So I think if there are facilities like this, like we have in Darwin, other places, I think there's definitely a lot of potential for collaboration on supply. And yeah, I think if we did have a supply partner, we have shipped to Siquijor in the past, we could ship bamboo offcuts there and also promote your items too. That'd be great. I think part of the story that we're trying to tell is like anything that you buy from us is kind of helping support our business. In return, we can help supply base Baha'i social housing projects. And so I think when you buy or collaborate, you're also in that way supporting the mission of base Baha'i.
Agreed, Architect Ray. Before I read the next question, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of my boss, the Provincial Science and Technology Director of our office, DOST Negros Oriental, and of course your good friend, Attorney Gilbert R. Arbon. He's with us today, one of the panelists.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Hi, Dr. Horilio, Engineer Luis, and Architect Ray. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Gilbert.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hello.
You, Gilbert.
Yeah.
Okay. Marge, do we have any other follow-up questions posted over in Facebook?
Yes, so we got some questions here, or a few more questions. A follow-up question for Engineer Luis. Are you using a specific bamboo species?
Yes, and we are using most of the bamboos that we use is Kawayan tinik, Bambusa blumeana is the scientific name. It's the most common bamboo in the Philippines. It's not originally from the Philippines. Actually, it's from the Malay Peninsula, but it arrives in the Philippines probably millions of years ago, and he found a very nice place to grow. So this is the most common and more spread bamboo in the country. So that's why we decided to work with Kawayan tinik. But in the recent years, we have been research in our laboratory other species to introduce in our portfolio of bamboos that we use, like the giant bamboo or Dendrocalamus asper, known in some regions like Butong. And so we tested also mechanical properties. That's an abundant bamboo also in Negros Oriental, and then also in Mindanao. So we are testing that. And more recently, we tested other species from Davao, like Bambusa vulgaris, Bambusa philippinensis, Gigantocloa apus. Those are all the species that you can find in different areas of the country. So one of the main purposes of the Base Innovation Center is to characterize all the species that are available in the country and can be used for construction. So if the people is in Davao, there is no Kawayan technique, but they have their Gigantocloa or Bambusa vulgaris, they can use that because there is data of the resistance of that species. So yes, we are working, but most of our production is Bambusa blumeana Kawayan technique for now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Engineer Luis. Another question here from our Facebook participant. What are the possible materials that the bamboo in your project is trying to reduce or replace in the current modern housing construction?
That's a tricky question, but I will try to explain. So we are not replacing, some people think that we are replacing the steel bars for bamboo. So we are doing like a reinforced concrete using bamboo as reinforcement. No. This is completely different. It's another construction system. So we have this frame that is made of bamboo studs, and it has a layer of a skin made of cement plaster, but this skin is only 1 inch, like 2 centimeters, maximum 3 centimeters of plaster. So the bamboo is not embedded in concrete as some people think. So we are not replacing anything. So the difference is that when you compare a concrete house with our house, you will see that we use less concrete, less steel, but much lesser. So, and even with that reduction in the consumption of concrete and steel, you can compare the reduction also in the carbon emissions of the construction house. So a house made with cement bamboo frame is 60% less, produce 60% less emissions than a house that is made in CHB, for example. So every house you are reducing your emissions by 60% in terms of carbon emissions. Sorry?
It's okay, sir. Just proceed, sir.
Okay, so that's more or less the difference. So we're replacing concrete and steel by using more bamboo, timber, and other components.
Thank you very much for that very informative answer, Engineer Luis. Sir Jack, do we have any more questions? And
yes, this will be the last question before we end our Q&A. This is addressed to Sir Ray. From the time you have advocated the use of bamboo in building structures, how would you assess its impact to the community, its marketability, and sustainability?
My experience with bamboo in the Philippines since I guess 2012 has been really great. I think in Darwin especially, we had the privilege of having the company Glass Bamboo Institute here, and they really helped create a bamboo culture here on Negros, where we have the craftsmen here and we have a strong tradition of working with bamboo. And so when we've had those first projects there was lots of craftsmen already that were experts and could do the joinery really well, and already were in the past they were like exporting knockdown structures to Europe. So that was really great to have that. And I think when we started Client Collective, we hired a lot of those same people, and we were saying let's do some of the same things that you already were doing. Let's do them again and see if we can improve on them. And I think there's been a market for bamboo, especially internationally, for many years. I think Philippines has always been at the top of the list for furniture and all of that sort of handicrafts and really intricate joinery things. So I think the marketability is great. I think there's a lot of great companies doing lots of bamboo furniture in Cebu. In rattan, I think a lot of rattan is being used, but it'd be great to see more in bamboo. And I think the community has just grown. We hope that we've seen a lot of more bamboo contractors also in Darwin. So we've kind of been building our network more of like referrals, like I had mentioned in my presentation. We have at least 3 or 4 that we can say, if someone comes in and asks us to build their building, we can say, no, but here are 3 or 4 other people that can. And so I guess success in our book is being able to build that community. And even if there are copycats to Client Collective, that's great. That means there's competition and a demand for bamboo. Hopefully we're not over harvesting and we can agree on sustainable harvesting. But I think that's one of the missions of Base Baha'i, is to also get more people building with bamboo and sustainably, and getting it in the building code. And there's just so much to do, work to do. And you have anything to add, Luis and Pablo?
Yes, Ray. To add on that, if we're going to measure the social impact, the fact that we're using bamboo, it already opens a circular economy. So there's already a social impact to all the farmers who are part-time harvesting bamboo. It becomes a source of their livelihood. Can you just imagine for a social enterprise like Kawayan Collective? I'm sure there would be 30 to 50 farmers are benefiting from harvesting the bamboo. So you're already, from that start of the value chain, you're already having a social impact. Now, when you start bringing in the bamboo, the fact that you're transporting it already adds to that circular economy. And then when you treat it, you need to train people, you need to hire people. Then that, again, it opens up capacity to learn, training, giving them a economic empowerment, and a livelihood that they can work on. That is just on the treatment process. When we buy bamboo and start building it for houses, the families who would be living in those houses, and all the mom, the dads, and all the children having a comfortable house, having a house of their own, that impact is immeasurable. That is also another social impact. And then as you build, as you repair, as you refurbish your houses, and all the elements that have bamboo components in it have a social impact in all the stages leading to the final products. Now, that is only for the social impact. We have not yet measured the environmental impact, how much carbon is stored in the bamboo plantation. And from the carbon stored in the bamboo plantation, those carbon or greenhouse gases stored in the bamboo poles or in the bamboo products. And if those bamboo poles or products have a lifespan of 30 years or 50 years, then the carbon that is sequestered from the atmosphere is retained in those products. So it becomes a climate change and an environmental impact. So if you put this all together, that helps not only the community where we harvest, process, and treat and produce houses, but also it helps the world in terms of the climate change. So there's so much advantages the bamboo can give to all who will use it and receive it.
Thank you very much, sir. So what you're trying to say, sir, is there is a very positive impact within the bamboo supply chain, from planting the bamboo up to the construction stage and even to the utilization of the final products of the bamboo. And on that note, we will be ending the question and answer portion of this virtual forum. We will proceed with the presentation of Certificate of Appreciation, and may I call on our Provincial Science and Technology Director of DOST Negros Oriental, my boss, Attorney Gilbert Arbon, to present to you the Certificate of Appreciation. Sir, please take the virtual floor.
Okay, good morning once again. So to express our heartfelt gratitude in behalf of the Department of Science and Technology Region 7, we would like to present this certificate of appreciation virtually to Dr. Pablo Jorillo for his invaluable and exemplary service rendered as resource speaker during the National Science and Technology Week in Central Visayas and Regional Invention Contest and Exhibit Virtual Science and Technology Forum entitled Cement Bamboo Frame Technology Innovation for Socialized Housing. Given this 27th day of August 2021, signed by Engineer Jesus F. Zamora Jr., the OIC Office of the Regional Director.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you
Yes,
very much, Gilbert.
Yes, thank you very much also, Dr. Jorillo. And the same certificate of appreciation is presented to Architect Ray Villanueva for his invaluable and exemplary service rendered as resource speaker during the National Science and Technology Week in Central Visayas and Regional Invention Contest and Exhibit Virtual Science and Technology Forum entitled Cement Bamboo Frame Technology Innovation for Socialized Housing. Given this 27th day of August 2021, signed by Engineer Jesus F. Zamora Jr., OIC Office of the Regional Director. Thank you very much, Ray.
Thank you, Sir Gilbert.
Yeah. Okay, and last but not least, the same certificate of appreciation is presented to Engineer Luis Lopez for his invaluable and exemplary service rendered as resource speaker during the National Science and Technology Week in Central Visayas and Regional Invention Contest and Exhibit Virtual Science and Technology Forum entitled Cement Bamboo Frame Technology Innovation for Socialized Housing. Given this 27th day of August 2021, signed Engineer Jesus F. Zamora Jr., OIC Office of the Regional Director. Thank you very much, Engineer Lopez.
Thank you, Gilbert, for this appreciation certificate.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for giving the certificate appreciations to our resource persons. Indeed, This morning has been a very productive morning. We had a very lively discussion with our resource person, and we know that the bamboo is no longer a poor man's timber. And in fact, there is so much positive impact within the bamboo supply chain, may it be environmental and social. And to formally close this virtual forum, may I call in again my boss, Attorney Gilbert R. Arbon, to give the closing remarks of this activity. Sir Gilbert, please take the virtual floor again.
Thank you very much, Jack. So after listening to the presentations of Dr. Horillo and Architect Trey, as well as during the interactions with the panelists, I am, let's say, it has reinforced my belief that pursuing the development of the bamboo industry in Negros Oriental and even in the entire region is, I think, a worthy goal for us at the DOST. And I'm really glad that there are people, change agents like Architect Trey, Dr. Horillo, and Engineer Luis, who have willingly shared their wealth of knowledge with regard to bamboo. And we can only say that we will always strive to be good partners with Kawayan Collective as well as Base Bahay, because we know we need to collaborate. Government and the private sector has to collaborate, and we need also to bring in the other partners, like the local government units, the academic institutions or universities. And it was not raised during the question and answer, but I think there were plenty of people who joined from academe, students as well as professors, and they might have been raring to ask how they could collaborate. And so we can work on that afterwards. This is just a preliminary activity. We have lots of things to look forward to this year and the next. So in behalf of the DOST Region 7, allow us to express our deepest gratitude to all three of you, and also to the DOST 7 team who have been expertly handling this forum. Thank you very much, Dr. Horillo, Architect Ray, and Engineer Luis for graciously joining our forum. We really look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gilbert.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to our resource persons, to my boss, Sir Gilbert. And at this juncture, I will forward you all to our DOST scholars for some fun and interactive games called the Fun Corner. Over to you, scholars.